Welcome to the Red Zone, the channel that cuts through the noise and exposes the hidden truths shaping your future. Tonight, we are looking at the impossible, the collapse of the American superpower from within. We are not talking about military invasion. We are talking about a systemic, silent breakdown that is already underway, a collapse triggered by decay, debt, and delusion. You will see the verifiable evidence that the foundation of the wealthiest nation on earth is crumbling, literally and financially, and how this internal rot is making us fatally vulnerable to external enemies. This is the warning sign you cannot ignore. If you believe the truth must be exposed before it's too late, hit the like button now. Subscribe to join the Red Zone and receive every collapse alert. Let's get started. For decades, America has projected an image of invincible prosperity and technological dominance. That image is a dangerous lie. The first visible sign of imminent collapse is the rot in the foundations, the physical infrastructure that underpins every aspect of American life. Reports from leading civil engineering societies confirm that the nation's infrastructure, our bridges, our power grid, our water systems, and our dams are rated shockingly low. We are not investing, we are deferring decay, playing a game of chance with public safety. Thousands of bridges across the country are structurally deficient, carrying millions of cars daily on borrowed time. Water pipes are bursting at record rates, wasting billions of gallons of clean water while critical cities struggle with supply. The electrical grid, a patchwork system built in the 20th century, is vulnerable not only to natural disaster but, crucially, to the cyber attacks of our adversaries. A widespread prolonged grid failure would paralyze the economy, stop commerce, and quickly lead to societal chaos. This isn't theoretical fear-mongering. These are unvarnished reports from non-partisan engineering experts detailing a system that is failing due to decades of negligence. But the physical collapse is only half the story. The other, far more insidious collapse is the financial one. The colossal, unstoppable growth of the national debt is an economic weapon pointed directly at the heart of the American dollar. The sheer, unfathomable debt load now threatens to consume the federal budget through interest payments alone, diverting funds desperately needed for infrastructure repair, defense spending, and technological innovation. This debt crisis is not a partisan issue. It is a ticking time bomb built by both sides. This financial instability poisons the well of the American middle class through inflation and reduced purchasing power, creating a profound economic anxiety that breeds political division and social despair. The US economy is currently running on the fumes of excessive spending and the illusion of unlimited borrowing. When faith in the dollar, the world's reserve currency, finally breaks, the physical and societal collapse will accelerate beyond the point of no return. The silent, crushing weight of debt is the true enemy. In the next section, we will turn from the physical rot to the internal erosion, the terrifying breakdown of social trust and political cohesion that leaves the nation completely vulnerable to this economic and structural failure. Do not look away. Not look away. In the first section, we detailed the physical and financial decay silently eating away at America's foundations. Now, we confront an even more insidious rot, the internal erosion, the terrifying breakdown of social trust and political cohesion that leaves the nation completely vulnerable to external manipulation and eventual collapse. The social fabric of America is not merely frayed, it is being deliberately torn apart by forces both foreign and domestic, leaving a deeply polarized and increasingly fragile society. The most immediate symptom of this internal collapse is the unprecedented level of political polarization. The political landscape is no longer a debate between two parties. It is an ideological war zone where compromise is seen as betrayal and genuine dialogue is impossible. This division is systematically amplified by partisan media echo chambers and weaponized by foreign adversaries through social media disinformation campaigns. Citizens are no longer discussing policy, they are demonizing neighbors, eroding the very civic bonds that hold a diverse nation together. This level of internal strife makes effective governance impossible, as every decision, every solution, becomes another battleground in a never-ending culture war. A house divided against itself cannot stand, and America is now a house in open conflict. Compounding this political fracturing is the precipitous decline of trust in core institutions, once respected pillars of society: the mainstream media, the justice system, federal agencies like the FBI and CDC, even the electoral process itself are now viewed with deep skepticism, if not outright contempt, by vast segments of the population. This erosion of trust is not accidental, it is the direct result of perceived overreach, partisan bias, and repeated failures to uphold their mandates with impartiality. When citizens no longer trust the institutions meant to protect them, govern them, or inform them, they become susceptible to demagogues, conspiracy theories, and radical ideologies. This creates a vacuum of authority, a dangerous space where truth is subjective, and chaos becomes inevitable. A nation that no longer believes in its own systems is a nation ripe for manipulation and control. This internal collapse is precisely what our adversaries, particularly China and Russia, are exploiting with surgical precision. They are not sending troops, they are sending bots, trolls, and propaganda designed to amplify our divisions, to sow discord, and to accelerate the breakdown of social cohesion. By leveraging social media algorithms and exploiting existing grievances, they transform American citizens into unwitting agents of their own nation's destruction. The goal is simple: to make America too preoccupied with internal conflict to project power externally, leaving a vacuum for them to fill on the global stage. The threat isn't just external, it's being amplified from within by our own fractured society. This systemic weakness, the lack of unity and trust, is the final piece that makes the physical and financial collapse so dangerous. In the final section, we will connect this internal rot with the ultimate external threat, the cyber warfare strategies of China and Russia against our vulnerable grid, and reveal the crucial steps every American must take to brace for the final countdown. The truth demands your action. The truth demands your action. We have detailed the two pillars of collapse, the physical decay of our infrastructure and the internal erosion of social trust. Now, we connect this systemic weakness to the ultimate external threat, cyber warfare. This is the final phase of the collapse, meticulously planned and executed by our primary adversaries, China and Russia. Our adversaries are not just sending propaganda to confuse our citizens. They are actively planting digital time bombs inside America's most critical infrastructure. The antiquated and neglected US power grid, the water treatment plants, and the financial clearinghouses are now prime targets. China's state-sponsored hackers and Russia's elite cyber units are known to be leveraging sophisticated, military-grade malware, often hidden deep within legitimate software and hardware supply chains that gives them sleep mode, access to our nation's vital controls. They are not looking to steal data, they are looking for the kill switch. In a geopolitical crisis, the final act will not be a missile launch, but a coordinated cyber attack that simultaneously shuts down large sections of the electrical grid, paralyzes railroad communications, and halts the supply of clean water to major cities. A widespread, prolonged blackout would instantly weaponize the chaos created by our existing social divisions. With the loss of power comes a loss of communication, commerce, and, crucially, refrigeration. This would accelerate societal breakdown from economic stress to mass survival crisis in a matter of days. The structural rot and the social breakdown we discussed are simply setting the stage for the final digital attack. This is not a problem Washington can solve quickly. The bureaucratic inertia, political infighting, and the sheer cost of replacing decades of outdated infrastructure leave our defenses fatally exposed. Therefore, defense is no longer solely the domain of the government. It is now the responsibility of the informed citizen. You must prepare for the inevitability of this failure. Defense against societal collapse requires a three-step personal action plan. First, embrace digital independence. Sever ties with all communication platforms that are known to censor or be compromised by foreign interests. Prioritize end-to-end encryption for all sensitive communication. Second, build community resilience. The only thing that truly survives systemic failure is strong local community bonds. Organize with trusted neighbors to prepare resource sharing, emergency power plans, and defense strategies. Third, achieve resource sovereignty. Acquire the means for independent water purification, non-perishable food storage, and off-grid power generation. Do not rely on a system that is designed to fail. The collapse is not coming. The process of collapse is already well underway. You have been given the warning signs. The rotting bridges, the crippling debt, the broken institutions, and the silent digital enemies waiting for their command. You can choose to ignore the facts and place your faith in a system designed to fail, or you can choose to act and protect your family now. This is the final countdown. You have been informed. What steps are you taking to secure your community against the inevitable? Sound off in the comments below. Hit that like button if you understand the gravity of this warning, and subscribe to Red Zone for continuous, unfiltered analysis that defends your future. We are the Red Zone. Thank you for watching.